Okay, what we have here is the LINQ Sportsbag. This is not a replacement for the side case of the Ryker. That you have a much bigger case. This one is a smaller case. It's a 17-litre case, hard top. Before I open it, actually I need to put it in properly. Right now it's closed because the lid is not zipped. So this is a strap that just holds it quite simply in place. The bottom of the LINQ case has the click-in attachment for the LINQ rack. Unfortunately, I do not personally have the LINQ rack, and to use this system you will need it. Okay, all is not lost, because I myself do have a rack on the back, and I'm hoping that this case will be able to replace the current bag that I'm using. And I want to show you this bag, or bag case actually, because it is hard. So what we have here is the lock, and you simply pinch it and pull it out. Under the lid, there are two zips, or one if you want to look at it like that, which is actually, when it's zipped up, I'll show you in a minute, is roomy enough for you to get more in than you can see. Okay, it expands basically, and the lid allows for that. So undoing the zips, I'll leave this one, well no, I suppose I can put it like that. So what's inside? Basically it has a hard bottom, hard sides, and here are the interesting facts. You may or may not be able to see on the label, there is a maximum load. What I'm not 100% sure of at the moment, if that is purely pertaining to the bag, or if that's the maximum load that the LINQ rack, this bag, and the contents of this bag, if that includes it, because it's a 17-litre content volume, but with a maximum load of 2.27 kilograms, which is 5 pounds, which I consider actually fairly light for any kind of motorcycle bag. However, my rack can take more, and I am potentially going to check that by using this top box, this bag. I'm going to attempt to attach it to my own rack. You may well have the LINQ rack. It's the same rack that is on a Ski-Doo, I believe. So this bag obviously is going to be used for other things other than the Ryker, because I believe it to fit the LINQ system, and that is a system that is developed for certain vehicles within the Canam BRP range. This is going to give you a good idea of basically what you can get in it. What does fit in it? I'm just going to give you a few general ideas of the kind of thing that will give you a good idea. I mean, it's not, I have no banana here for scale. However, anybody that knows, you know, this, for instance, is a GoPro accessory box. A lot of you would know the size of this. It basically quite easily disappears into this box. So I'm going to put it in there just for now. On top of that, a petrol bottle. Does it fit? Yes, it does. And also on top, So there's, you know, there is so much room. Although quite potentially petrol you wouldn't necessarily want to put in this bag. You could even put it on the top. In fact, yeah, I'm going to leave it just for a second. Bottles will come in a second. So at the moment, there is purely a GoPro box in there at the moment. I am now going to roll up my wet weather gear and place that in there. I'm going to do that now. Again, loads of, and see, all right, if you use your imagination, if this wasn't wet weather gear and it's summertime for you and maybe you only ride in the summer, see that as a rolled up towel. If you were going to the beach, you would need the same kind of space for a towel if you were going to the beach or somewhere where you could swim. And talking of which, there is still loads of room here. Sure what the weather's going to do. Extra pair of gloves. Now these are the biggest that I have, with exception of the heated gloves that I have, but these are big. I've done that, you know, on purpose, so you can see how much room they take. We still have loads of space, loads of space. So the scale wise, I thought before I fill up the bag, because probably if I was going away for a weekend, this would be some kind of wash gear. You know, you're talking about a toothbrush, toothpaste, maybe, you know, some form of toiletries or stuff, and that would go perhaps in that space. If you're going to the beach, you're not going to need any of that. But what you then will want to know is, come on, let's face it, does a beer fit in here? Okay, these are the size of a can of Coke. Okay. If you did two on top of each other, it's probably, you could probably just about do it. It does reach. I wouldn't necessarily, you don't really need to do that. There's still room, you know, there is room. You'd put, I mean, I don't know, beer, would you put beer in the top box? Yeah, I think you probably would if you were going somewhere hot enough to need it. Tools, would you take a bottle to the beach? Well, this is a normal bottle of beer. And you probably wouldn't do that. You'd probably wrap any bottled beers, you would wrap up in a towel. And if you were going away for like a party or something, like a weekend at a, you know, like a bachelor thing, bearing in mind that this would probably be filled up with toiletries and still room actually, or maybe potentially some food, or maybe even camping gear, there's room. There is room for that. And if you don't completely pack it, I don't know if it's just my head, but if you're going away for a weekend, there might be a party involved in it. What I'm saying is that if you do it properly, listen to me, if you do it like that, you can potentially, you know, if you were picking something up on the way, this is a litre bottle of bat juice. I won't say its name. And if you do that, oh, good. Oh, I think you're good for the weekend. Of course, you're over the limit. And that brings us back to the type of rack and the way you ride and the kind of roads. If you were going easy, you could do it easily. I'm actually quite surprised how much goes into this bag. So, there we have it. It's a nice looking bag. And what I'm hoping, if I can sort it out on the rack at the back, I will use it. So there is going to have to be an update, because I also need to test to see just how waterproof it is. This feels waterproof, it looks waterproof. The only way to know for sure is to test it. So that's going to be the update. However, it's a nice looking bag. You can get quite a lot in it. I think it would be great also as a shopping thing, you know, if you're on the way home and you need to pick up milk or something, it would quite easily be protected in this, and you would be able to keep it upright and that kind of thing. I think it's actually a very nice bag. Looks great. Now I just need to test it. Oh, and before I forget, on the back, just so that if you were going in and out of somewhere like a hotel or accommodation, they've included a hand grip. And looks like links here, you'd be able to attach a shoulder strap to it. I didn't see a shoulder strap, but you know, any shoulder strap you could attach to this if that made your life easier when traveling. All in all, it's a nice bag.